Hello everyone. Today is day 10 of the 21 days to inner peace. And sorry, this is so late. I've been in bed all day today. I don't have COVID. I've been tested, but just resting, which has been a really good thing. So let's see how I get through this. I feel like I just don't have the same brain power, but I'm going to start. And Dawn, you requested this for tapping for being triggered, but I'm going to read today, December 1st. Hey, Laura. Out of the 365 days to embracing forbidden emotions. So December 1st. There is a voice that doesn't use words. Listen, Rumi. That's so true. This speaks to when I'm acting from inspiration as opposed to the pushing energy of the world. When inspiration strikes, it can seem nonsensical. But there's this inner knowing I need to move forward anyway. A step gets revealed and I take it. Another step gets revealed and I take the next step. As this unfolds before me, I feel compelled and supported in taking this journey despite the naysayers. Even if fear surfaces, I notice I still feel excited and inspired. And I realize this is part of the journey as I still feel compelled to keep going. If, however, I feel entrenched in fear or debilitated with fear, I can remind myself this comes from me pushing the agenda of the world of shoulds and have-tos. This is the perfect time to step back, regroup, and wait for inspiration to come, and then act once again, but with a different energy. The energy that inspires me, not the energy that I feel like I need to motivate myself to keep going. It's a learning curve, especially given how entrenched the world is with all the pushing to succeed that it promotes. And it's a journey that has so much more freedom and liberation for me. It's the way it's meant to be. Thought for the day: what if I can learn to act through inspiration, not desperation? Yeah, I do think desperation spurs us into action at some point, but acting out of desperation is not good. Like, desperation sort of gets us to a place where we know we need to make change. And then we can learn to take action when we feel inspired, which ends up feeling like it's not work. It's really different. It doesn't mean that you don't spend time working hard, but you feel so much more inspired. So this hard work doesn't seem like hard work. So I just wanted to read that today. And then Dawn, to go with your tapping to being triggered. So the one thing that I love that I found through mindfulness meditation is called mental noting. I've talked about that on here before, where mental noting is that you're experiencing an emotion and you just name it, like fear, terror, abandonment. One time I tell this story, but I was hiking one day with my dogs and I really noticed like the bully in my brain like had such a grip on me. And I got to the top of this hill and I just said abusing, and I started to laugh because that's what it felt like. I was abusing myself with my thoughts. And that just immediately shifted the energy. So when you're triggered, of course, it's hard to remember to do those things for the sheer fact that you're triggered, because it's that you're in it. And I don't know that we should ever look to go through our life and never be triggered. We're always going to be. But it's, do we get better at catching it? Do we get triggered less long? Are we able to move through it more quickly than we used to? Are we less hard on ourselves about it? So those are things to keep in mind. And of course, tapping is a wonderful thing to do when you're triggered, even if you just tap on the collarbone, or you notice you're triggered and you just start tapping. You don't have to say a word because you're triggered. You're in the midst of being triggered. So let's tap, karate chop. And sorry if my voice cracks. Even though I get really triggered, and I always go with what comes. And I really judge myself for still getting triggered. I choose to acknowledge my feelings now. Hey, Laura, even though I get triggered, And then I judge myself or get mad at myself, thinking I should have a grip on this by now. I choose to acknowledge my truth right now. Even though I hate being triggered. But I'm in a body, having a very human experience. And along with that experience comes being triggered. I choose to honor my truth right now. Go to the eyebrow and tap the points. I get so triggered. But what if I'm making myself wrong for that? What if I can start to accept myself for being triggered? It happens. And if I knew how to stop it, I would. But what if the trigger is good? What? What if that's true? What if there's information here for me to look at that being triggered is showing me? What if that's what the trigger is there for? It's meant to reveal to me the wounded places in me. And from that, what if I can learn to be kinder to myself when I'm triggered? And know that the triggering is actually good. Because it's there to help me grow, evolve, and change for the better. So what if I can start to honor when I'm triggered and catch myself judging myself? Maybe say, I'm judging myself for being triggered. And what if that changes so much for me? Giving myself some acceptance and kindness because of the triggering. And what if it's my little kid that gets triggered? My wounded child. And she's been judged enough. So what if the next time I get triggered, even if it's well after the fact, that I become conscious of this? What if I can practice some compassion and kindness towards my wounded child, who's the one that gets triggered? And what if over time, through this acceptance, I learn to reparent this part of me and send it loving kindness to help heal? And what if that makes all the difference? And then I notice I'm judging myself less for the triggering and accepting myself more. I kind of like that idea a lot. Take a breath. Hey, Grace, my cat. So that's the part to me to remember, is the part of us that gets triggered is the child. That is the child that's getting triggered. And what we've often learned to do is judge that part of ourselves, get mad at that part of ourselves, make that part wrong. But when we learn to start to catch it and start to practice acceptance and sending love and kindness and soothing that part of us, then we make the trigger okay. And we realize the trigger is good. It's actually there to teach us and help us to evolve. Diane, great to see you. I'm so glad I got through this. I wasn't sure that I would. So it's been a bed day. And Laura, great to see you. Ladies, great to have you both here live. Take care and thanks for the topic, Dawn. See you back here tomorrow. Bye-bye.